And joining us now is Phillies prospect Cole Irvin. Cole, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Thank you for coming. We're very excited to see you join the show. You're our first guest on the show, so thank you for joining us.
Oh, sweet. That's a huge honor. Thanks, guys.
And we're very happy to have you. And so, Cole, many of our listeners are big Phillies fans, and prospect in their system is living out a lot of our listeners' dreams. So how does it feel to be a player in the Phillies organization?
Man, I've only been with the one organization, and just to be a part of the Philadelphia vibes, especially being as close as I am in AAA. It's just an exciting time to be a Philly, and the coaching staff and just everyone is really welcoming and really educated on what Philadelphia is like. So to be able to play baseball for the organization, it's just a lot of fun. It brings a lot of excitement, day in and day out, because it's the Philly fan, it's the city of Philadelphia, and I'm a huge I'm a huge American, so I'm proud to be part of the city of brotherly love for sure.
Definitely sounds like personality fits with Philly.
All right.
Sorry, what was that?
Another question here.
Yeah.
What would you say the most exciting part of the day you were drafted, and hearing that call your name, that the Phillies wanted you?
Right. The day I was drafted, it was kind of surreal. Draft day and stuff. Wasn't sure if I was going to go day one. Day two, obviously, was the day for me. But it was the same weekend. All my family was in town. It was the same weekend I was actually walking to get my degree at the University of Oregon. So it was just a blessing in disguise. I graduated with a degree in sociology, then ended up getting the phone call to be drafted in the 5th round, first pick to the Phils. And man, I should have went out and caught a Marlin or bought a lottery ticket, because I feel like the whole, the wind was with my sails, and it just kind of propelled me into the first short season that I had, and I was just excited to be able to play. Just excited to go play. It was just a fun time, and it was just an awesome weekend. And my whole family and stuff got to experience it, and it was just a lot of fun.
That's great to hear. As a Phillies fan, we've been waiting for a left-handed starter for a while now. If you followed us the past few years, you know that Adam Morgan is now a reliever in our bullpen, and we're anxiously awaiting your appearance here in the majors. So how does that feel, knowing that a fan base you got to feel some pressure, but at the same time, the excitement level is off the charts, correct?
Yeah, the excitement level is obviously there, and who doesn't keep track of how many right-handed pitchers we have in our rotation? And but here's the thing: is I've followed the Phillies since the Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, Roy Halladay days. That pitching staff was kind of instrumental going into high school for me. I watched a lot of their games. With them being so good, I paid attention. So Philadelphia for me is kind of been a team that I've always paid attention to, and I definitely knew that last year, Ranger getting the call up for being the first guy in like 200 plus games. It was a cool thing to see that Ranger was that guy to break that kind of streak. And Adam Morgan, he's one of the best guys in the clubhouse, and at least from meeting him and interacting with him during spring training, he was just an absolute blast to be around, and he's just a solid gamer. But in terms of the pressures of being a left-handed starter, you're just starter, left or right-handed. Your job is to go out there and get as many outs as possible, and my job is just to extend myself in a game to get past the 6th, 7th inning, and see that lineup for the 3rd time, and put our team in position to win, or at least keep our team in position to win. There's going to be games where you're going to give up runs and stuff, so I don't think the pressure of pitching, at the big league level, being left-handed and not having a left-handed starter is really there for myself. And I don't think it applies to maybe a guy like Ranger or a guy like JoJo Romero, or I don't think the lefties feel that pressure, because I think, again, the organization does a good job of saying, hey, if you go out there and perform, it doesn't matter if you're left or right-handed, you're gonna get that call. So, it's going to be an exciting year. I'm looking forward to 2019. My favorite number is 19, so I'm hoping that this year is a year that I get to see some big league innings, and but I can't put the pressure on myself to just not pitch. So I got to go out and perform like I did last year, and focus start to start, pitch to pitch, and not put that pressure on myself. Like last year, a lot of people asked, what was the deal with my success? For me, it was having fun and understanding that I was probably spending the whole year in AAA and I wasn't going to sniff the big leagues. And I'm going to apply the same thing that I did last year to this year, is not put the pressure on myself to try to make it, because I'm not making that decision, so why should I worry about it?
So you say the biggest key to your success is having fun, but it is, amongst a lot of fans, a well-known fact that the minor league season can be a bit of a drag. It's tough on travel, on the whole clubhouse. How do you deal with the possibility of getting that call up, or on the flip side, even being sent down based on how you're performing at that time?
Hey, whatever, the way I see it is whatever the team needs to win that series or that week, that's kind of how you got to deal with it. Yeah, you get sent down, I don't think, in terms of, guys being in AAA or guys being in the big leagues, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I'm sure it does apply a lot of pressure to some of the relievers if they're not performing. But I think as a starter, either way, you're going to get your innings, you're going to get your starts, and you're going to be ready to go. And, this is how I treated last season. I treated last season as a spring training almost, an extended spring training to be ready for the big leagues. And if I struggle at the big leagues and I get sent down, rightfully so, or a guy's performing better than me and I get sent down, so be it. Like, that's just how baseball is supposed to be. And if I'm not good enough yet, I got to accept it and go learn my ways down in AAA and hopefully come back and do much better. It doesn't matter what level you're at, the season's going to be a drag. You're going to have flights, you're going to have bus rides, you're going to have nights where you spend a couple of hours a little bit more out, with teammates or your spouse or whoever you might be spending time with. You're going to make choices, and sometimes you got to live with your choices the next day, or sometimes you get an extra night's sleep and you're feeling good and ready. So, I mean, there's so many variables that go into a season that, you can get into. But, it's a lot of fun, and I don't think there should feel any pressure or anything to be able to be sent up or go up or be sent down. And there's plenty of guys that do well in AAA that don't get called up, and for reasons that are primarily business decisions, and I totally understand why that is.
Cole, hearing you talk about Adam Morgan earlier, how he seemed to relieve pressure. What are some other guys in the clubhouse? We're just interested who, seem to lighten up. Who are the sparks in the clubhouse, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Reese is a great teammate. And I've had my, fair share of interacting with, some of the guys in AAA and some of the guys at Big League Camp last year. Another guy that I really, really just was pulling for at the end of the season